Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, where art accelerates business, design drives performance, and we explore the culture of speed with athletes, business leaders, and creatives who define it. Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, episode 135.
135. She survived.
That is very true. I did survive.
Coming to you live from, where are we?
Calistoga.
Calistoga. Getting ready to go to the airport.
Getting ready to hop on a flight. We figured we'd get it in a quick recording before we did that so we didn't miss a week. Because we got quite a bit to recap from the trip.
Yeah, I mean, you have successfully recovered. We were worried about how that would go. We thought maybe you broke your foot, but we think you're good.
I don't think it's broken. It still hurts, but I can walk on it now.
Why don't we just jump right in and tell the folks what we're talking about?
Yeah, so as some of the listeners know, I did a 50k trail race out here in Sonoma County, Lake Sonoma 50k, 100k. It's a Western States qualifier, so it was a pretty decent sized race.
Yeah, it was almost 300 people.
Yeah. And I had a blast.
Yeah.
I am completely destroyed. I can barely walk downstairs. The day after, I could barely even walk at all. But I'm coming around.
I think it was the right call for us to work in a couple extra recovery days before trying to make it back to the airport, because
I don't think I could have walked through the airport.
You would have been one of those people in the wheelchair.
I 100% would have requested a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in bad shape the next day.
What walk us through the race? Like, what was the good takeaways about it? I mean, well, first of all, let's say it was 48 and raining on the start. It basically has rained every single day we've been here, other than yesterday was the only day that we haven't had rain. Yeah,
which apparently it never rains around here, so it was just, I guess, our luck that it rained the entire time.
Of course.
But it was 40 degrees and raining at the start, which we kind of already knew was a high probability. So I feel like I packed everything pretty well. But the vibes were still high. Like, everyone was pretty excited. I feel like when I think about bike racing or like gravel racing, that's when the rain and the cold really starts to mentally mess with you.
Yeah.
Running is just not as big of a deal.
Because you warm up.
You warm up really quickly. As long as it's not like truly freezing, like 20 to, sub 30, then obviously that's a different story. But it kind of kept us cool enough. I would prefer that, honestly, over it being ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
Just because then you're just dealing with hydration issues, which is much worse than dealing with mud.
Yeah.
But the course itself was, Lake Sonoma, didn't even know existed. It is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
It looks like you're like in Jurassic Park, like out of a movie.
Yep.
I felt like every single hill I climbed up, there was just incredible views at the top. And the course was, if it had not rained all of the days leading up to the race, I think it would have been pretty like smooth and sandy. Instead, we had there was parts where mud was completely up to our ankles.
And your white socks.
And my white socks. I received the nickname White Socks throughout the entire race because I had my Swiftwick socks. And everyone knows I wear white socks no matter what.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. I mean, they're socks. Like, they're not that precious. Like, I'm not, they're not $500 socks.
They're great socks, though.
No, I'm saying, but they're so comfortable.
Right.
That I'm like, I'm just going to wear the socks I want to wear.
Yeah. So white socks, you're with people most of the time. And I'll say, obviously I was tracking you. You came out super strong. You were running top 12 through 20 miles.
Yeah.
Through the checkpoint, 20 miles. But then you
injured
your foot.
Well, that wasn't even, it just kind of the wheels just started to come off because I really didn't injure my foot until the last 3 miles. But my quads, I've never felt like total muscular just shutdown before. I'm sure there's a technical term for it that I'm just not using. But I kept thinking, I was like, that's how those triathletes, just like when they come across the finish line, they start getting like the wobbly legs. The jello legs.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get to that point. But it is a really weird feeling that I've never, maybe I haven't pushed myself hard enough on the bike. I don't know if it's quite the same thing because you can just stop pedaling and coast on a bike. Whereas like running, unless you just sit down, like there's no coasting. And so my quads were just, I've never felt anything like it in my life. It felt like they just turned off and I just didn't have use of those muscles
And
anymore.
what mile was that at?
That was probably like closer to like mile 27 that started. So like between mile 20 and 27, that's when I started falling apart.
Yeah.
And that's when because there was 2 big climbs between those 2 aid stations.
Yeah.
Or I guess it was like my aid station 20, then there was another aid station at 22.3, and it was because it was right before the 2 climbs. And then there was a aid station at the top of the final climb. And so, yeah, I thought the race was going to take me like 5.5 hours. So I was thinking like, like 5.5 hours, maybe 6 max. And it took over 7 hours. And I think a lot of that was because of the rain. It just made it super
slow.
Like, yeah, slower. Because everyone said the same thing. They were like, it took me like 2 hours more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So my body just wasn't prepared for a 7-hour effort. It was prepared for a 5 to 6 hour effort.
You still did great. I mean, you finished 33rd out of 89 women.
Yeah.
Again, you were running 12th until in the 20s. So you definitely went out hard. And I was looking up, all the girls in front of you were pros. So I was wondering if you're going to be able to keep that up.
I just didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know. Or at least I don't know. I'm just not experienced enough. I haven't done... It was my first 50K, and I really struggle with it because I'm not like going as hard as I can go. So it's one of those things where like I kind of just do this pace that I know I can hold for 5 hours, really like based on my heart rate. Yeah. And I just didn't think it was going to take me as long as it did. So that's where it threw me off. Like I was holding like 165 is like the heart rate. 165 to 175 is kind of like where I like to be, because I know what that means. I'm like still pushing myself, but not to the point where it's going to completely go off the rails. But again, I just wasn't conditioned for a 7-hour race. I was conditioned for a 5.5 hour race.
What were some other things we learned? We learned about cruise. We didn't know that existed.
I mean, I knew that I knew that it was a thing. Obviously, I knew people. I just didn't know. I didn't think I was going to be doing as well as I would. Like, I didn't know what to expect. And so when we took off, I was with a lot of guys and a lot of girls, and the first 2 miles was like the first mile and a half was like a pretty steep paved climb. And I was like, oh, this is good because I know I can actually, like, people just started walking it as soon as we hit the climb.
Oh, really? Huh.
And I knew that was a time to get ahead. And so I just followed like the group of women and men that were continuing to run it. And so I just ran that entire first part into the first single track section, because pretty much the entire race was single track. Yeah. Not even really double track, except for a couple parts that were like gravel roads. So you had to pass people a lot. And so anyways, I was like, I know I can run up this climb without gassing myself too bad. But I noticed that a lot of the women, they either didn't have a pack, or they just didn't have anything in their pack. And so I was like, like, that's kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't they have any water bottles? Like, maybe they're just... Anyways, so very long story short, I realized I was carrying about 10 pounds of supplies that everyone else just had waiting for them at the aid stations. Yeah. And as soon as they rolled into the aid stations, it was kind of cool. They had like a section kind of roped off where people were like watching and cheering at pretty much every station, and some of them were pretty remote. And so that's when I realized, I was like, oh, these people have like a whole team like ready to like change out their water, change out their backpacks. And I didn't have that, which was fine. I just didn't know that.
We screwed that up because I could have totally done at least 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
We just didn't know about it. Or I didn't know about it.
I just thought I was going to be kind of in the middle of like a giant pack of people. And I just didn't know what to expect. So
it would have helped not to have to carry so much.
Yes, because I mean, I think my backpack, I need to weigh it when I get back. It's definitely close to like 10 pounds. Yeah. So I basically was,
But you did only have 1 bottle. You lightened up pretty.
I did. I don't know what happened. Like, I had my Solomon bottles in my Solomon pack, and they're like those like flexible bottles. And I put a carbs fuel gel in the bottle mixed with the water. It must have had some sort of like chemical like reaction, because the top of my bottle exploded like it shot up, hit me in the face, and then the bottle just flew out of my pack, and I lost it
While you were running.
while I was running. And
Was this on the pavement?
this was on the pavement, so it was literally a mile in. So then the whole entire time, I only had one bottle, which ended up being better because at the aid station they were really great. Like they would come grab your bottle from you, fill it up. Because I remember thinking like, wow, I've never had anyone do this before. Like this woman was like, there was literally a woman at every aid station, like grab my bottle, fill it up for me, hand it back to me, which was really nice. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. I never felt like I was like running out of supplies or water.
That's good.
I think I could have actually carried less food because I didn't end up eating like probably half
You
of
got
the
extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to be prepared than to be out there and bonking and not have food.
Yeah, I mean the aid stations were great, and there was basically 6 aid stations, and so it was like mile 7, mile 15, mile 20. It was pretty much every 5 miles there was an aid station. So I didn't really feel like it was that. I don't know. It was really well supported.
So I went to I thought it was 29, but I guess it was 30 because the race was longer than you guys thought.
It was 32 miles instead of 31. That extra mile, like.
And I was
people.
waiting for you there because I knew it was towards the end and I'd give you some encouragement to finish. But I will say I've never seen people suffering as bad as I saw.
Really?
Sitting there at that. Like
really?
Just like people, just like faces of death coming through.
I mean, I was face of death at that point.
And the good thing is where I was, I guess, your last dirt section. So I was telling people you're on the road from now on. And everyone was like, thank you.
No, there was another dirt section.
Oh, there was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You gave people false hope.
Oh, well. Well, I at least told them that they
but it was a descent.
were going onto the road and everyone was very thankful for that.
Yeah.
So at the end, you came through and they gave you your finishing award.
Which was a bottle of wine.
A bottle of wine.
Yeah, it was really nice.
My question to you, so bottle of wine, it's like branded with the race finisher. Are you glad that you got a bottle of wine as your finishing trophy instead of a medal? Because now when we go to the airport, you don't have anything to wear.
Well, I never wore the medals in the airport. But they gave us a cool hat too, a branded hat, cap.
That's true.
Running cap.
You know what you could do? You could just carry the bottle of wine through the airport.
I think.
And then like put it up on the counter, like whenever you're like
checking in. Checking in.
Yeah.
Like
you know how people like after we talked about like marathons wear their medal all day.
Yeah, it's true.
You could just walk around with a bottle of wine.
I think they'd make me throw it away in TSA.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we got to check the bottle of wine.
So are you glad you got a bottle of wine instead of a medal?
I think it's a cool idea. Personally, I would rather have a medal because I like to add it to my medal collections, not necessarily to wear them around the airport. But it was cool. It was nice.
Yeah.
Because there's like
are we gonna drink it?
Well, that's why I'm like, so do I just like hold on to this bottle of wine? I guess you just drink it and then you keep the bottle.
Yeah. You could drink it. We could drink it. Keep the bottle. Fill it up with something else.
You have flowers in it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Put flowers in it.
But Adidas was the title sponsor of the event, and we had pretty good swag bags.
Yeah.
They gave us hats. They gave us a first aid kit. They gave us like different, I don't know, tchotchke, but the hat was really nice. The Adidas Terex hat.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really, well, it helped because it was raining.
Yeah. Oh, I would have if I didn't have that, because I didn't bring a hat. Yeah. I normally don't run in a hat. And if I hadn't had that, it would have been really miserable because it kept the rain.
The nice folks at Adidas also gave you a little bag at the end. I thought they were giving that to everyone, but it was a first aid kit.
It was because I was shivering so bad.
I thought that they were giving that. I thought, that, like, what kind of event you finish and they hand you a first aid kit?
No, they were just really nice. And the guy saw like how cold I was. And so he's like, oh, I have these like little mini portable first aid kits that I can give you, and it has one of those like space blanket things in it. And so he like wrapped it around me. They were really kind. So
that was it for the race?
Yeah, I mean, I would do it again. I loved the race. Again, if it weren't raining, it would have been awesome. It was still awesome even though it was raining. And it wasn't technical at all. The descents, like there was no roots, there was no real rocks. It was definitely a death by 1,000 cuts. Like it was either up or down. There was pretty much no in between.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I would do a lot more. I think I would probably do a lot more interval training just to get because the cardio's there, but the quads weren't there for that much descending. I don't think I've ever done that much descending.
Yeah.
And so it was just like my quads, I just really need to train my quads more, because I felt like I had a breakthrough with descending on this race. Like normally in Georgia or in the Southeast, the descents are just so technical. I don't really feel like I can actually run them. You kind of feel like you have to like hike down them. And I know there are people that are very skilled that do run them. I just don't feel like I can a lot of times. And this time the descents were so flowy because it was all single track and smooth. I just was like, this is so fun. Like I felt like a kid. I was just sending it like through the mud, because awesome. you couldn't really, people that were trying to descend slowly were slipping and falling.
Yeah.
So you kind of just had to like, just
go.
Yeah, you just had to go.
Just don't stop.
Yeah, you just couldn't stop because it's
like on a gravel bike. If it's wet, you gotta just go. You can't put on the brakes.
Exactly. And I never I didn't ever feel like even if I had fallen, I was gonna get super injured because again, there weren't like giant rocks and roots. So if you fell, you were kind of just gonna get covered in mud or like in grass. But there wasn't like thorns and cactuses and like tree, like it just wasn't a super dangerous course.
Like a Belgian waffle ride.
So I thought that was really nice because it did allow you to just like have fun and flow and not be super stressed about like twisting your ankle. So I wouldn't say, I don't know. I feel like this is actually a good, I wouldn't say like I don't know if there's truly like a beginner 50K course. I guess if you're just going to do like people do like 1 mile laps around some parking lot for 50K, but I would say do this one.
I mean, I think a beginner is more like not as much climbing.
Yeah.
I mean, climbing 6,000 feet over 50K.
6,500.
6,500.
My Garmin said 4,500. So that was what I was expecting. And the reality was 6,500.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah.
I will say this trip has opened our eyes to staying further north up here. Like you said, Lake Sonoma was incredible.
It was so beautiful.
Even people around here that we've talked to have never even been. But
I know,
it's
weird.
It's in the Dry Creek Valley. So we stayed in Healdsburg, and then it's just literally 15 minutes north.
Yeah.
You just go straight out Healdsburg north, Dry Creek Valley, which has some pretty famous wineries there. Yeah. And it's like beautiful.
Beautiful. Not as touristy, which I think is
not
nice.
Touristy at all. And then it's just north of Healdsburg, and it was incredible. And even the riding over there, and now we stayed over here in Calistoga. The riding, because I've always felt like Napa, staying down Napa, like to ride.
Yeah, I don't really like Napa.
Too many cars. There's not enough roads you can ride on. But up here, there's so many roads. Quiet, calm. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I feel like I always say this when we visit someplace, but I could, if I was gonna live on like in this area, I would want to live up north, up here.
Yeah. Not
really like in the like more central Sonoma.
This ride I finally was able to ride after 4 days of rain yesterday, and this ride I did yesterday where I climbed Mount St. Helena, and then you descend to Middleville, and then kind of circle around, come back up Mount Howard.
Yeah. On
Inc. Grade Road. I told you it's probably top 5 loops.
Yeah, you said it was
top 5 50-mile loops I've ever done in my life. I just Luke Limperty just texted me because I sent it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's like one of his favorite training rides." He's like, "All the roads up here are like perfect for riding. So if you ever come to Napa, Sonoma, and like I shouldn't bring my bike, I think if you want to stay up here, like world-class riding."
Yeah, I mean, so would you recommend staying in Healdsburg or Calistoga for cycling?
I think Calistoga. That's actually Luke was just texting me about. His ranch and stuff is over here on this side.
Oh, cool.
There's just more options. I think Healdsburg, you can go like directly north like we did towards Lake Sonoma. I did a ride that went a little bit south of Windsor and then went up onto the mountain range and came back, which was nice. It was quiet.
Yeah.
There's definitely way more road riding options up here than there is down in the other towns.
And I feel like you're not dealing with like all the drunk drivers that you have.
Exactly.
Because there's not as many people like doing that up here.
I mean, the climbs yesterday, I did 2 different 5-mile climbs. I never was passed by a car.
That's crazy.
Never. And just like single lane road, like just unbelievable. I don't think people know about it.
I know. I'm glad we came up here because it definitely, we're thinking we're going to plan some sort of SpeedStudio rendezvous up here and bring more people back because whether it's running or riding, I mean, it is really, and even though I think, like you said, Calistoga is better for like riding out of the town, I personally like Healdsburg.
Healdsburg's nicer.
Like the town of Calistoga is kind of but like it's a little more crunchy, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little more locals, I would say.
Locals, crunchy,
Yeah.
old.
But we did this. I mean, they've got a nice Four Seasons and
Yeah.
Alberge and all that stuff, which we went over and had dinner at last night. It was really nice.
Yeah, the Four Seasons. I am very confused by the Four Seasons. Like, so, because there's the residences at the Four Seasons. Yeah. These are like $6 million, 1,800 square foot homes.
Right on top of each other.
Right on top of each other. And I'm not sure why you would,
It is very baffling.
I'm like, who's the demographic for this? Because I feel like if you got, $6 million to just drop on a house out here, like, why wouldn't you just like get like a house out here instead of like a tiny home in
I think maybe it's just the
like, is it the amenities?
They love the amenities and being waited on by
I
the
guess
Four
so.
Seasons.
Yeah, because it's like
you don't have to do anything.
I guess so, because you don't have to like garden. You don't have to like everything is taken care of.
I'm sure it's all taken care of.
Yeah. That has to be it because
and then you can walk to the pool. And
walk to the restaurant.
And the restaurant.
Everyone knows your name.
Yeah. That has to be it because it doesn't make sense otherwise because they are not huge houses for a lot of money. Right.
Well, and they don't even have like really yards or anything.
No, there's no.
But I
yards.
mean, you have the grounds. Obviously, you have like the total amount of like the grounds of the Four Seasons property. But yeah, we were driving through and we're like, what is the demographic? I do think it's an older demographic because everyone we saw walking back down to the homes looked like retirees. Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah, it's interesting because then if you go over the mountain, if you go over Mount St. Helena into that area, like I went through 5 different ecosystems yesterday. All of a sudden you're in the desert. And there's like a Black Canyon road. Like you can see there's these huge farms.
Yeah.
And like beautiful, but it's very remote.
Yeah.
Like it would take a long time to get anywhere.
Yeah.
From the roads I rode yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and you said that there was one road where the only house on it was the Cliff family farm.
That's the Inc. grade road, yeah.
Cliff Bar, for those who don't know who the Cliff family is.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Because they have like the road marked with like, they called it something like the Col de Croix or something.
Yeah.
Like definitely a road. Now, when I looked at the leaderboard, like Phil Guyman, former guest of the pod, he's got the KO.
Oh, does he?
Like a lot of people have done it. So I think it must be a pretty famous. It was one of the most beautiful climbs I've ever done. Single lane through the redwoods.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's. I was pretty blown away by it.
I'm actually really excited to come back so I can bring my bike because I definitely am glad I didn't bring my bike this time because we were on the fence. I was like, maybe I could bring my bike. I would not have been able to do anything. But I am excited to come back with my bike so that I can do some of the cool climbs that you did yesterday too.
Yeah, so that's I think that's the highlights. I mean, Healdsburg
is awesome.
Healdsburg though makes me feel like Westworld.
What do you mean?
Like it's like just such a different world.
Oh, well, I guess like, yeah, when we were sitting there, so the first couple nights we stayed in Healdsburg and then after the race we moved over to Calistoga just to like kind of test out the different towns. We usually try to like hop around to see when we come back where do we want to stay.
Yeah.
But the first night that we got to Healdsburg, we were just walking around downtown, and there was like a little, there's a really cute, what was it called? Little Saint.
Little Saint.
There's a restaurant called Little Saint.
Yep.
It's not little. It's actually a really big restaurant.
Highly recommended.
The food was awesome. Everything was awesome. And so we walk in, and it was kind of dead because it was early. And one of the guys working there goes, "Oh, like, do you want to go upstairs for live music?" And we're like, "Oh, we didn't know there was live music." We go upstairs. The upstairs is packed. And there was a country band, Bob Sumner playing. And it felt like we had been transported into like a different part of like the universe. It was so nuclear, stereotypical nuclear California.
Yeah.
Everyone with their 5 kids and their like not in like a bad way, but just so nuclear traditional.
Yep.
It was pretty mind-blowing.
Well, and his music, I mean, that's all we've listened to since
He's so good.
He's so good. And he was such a good storyteller. And this is a guy, country music, I would classify it as like outlaw country, like old country. He's
from Canada.
But he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's in his 50s. He's from Canada, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And just the whole scene, his wife was there, his band. It was like surreal.
It really
was. From Atlanta to like that day to be there that night.
It's really hard to explain. You just kind of had to see it, like going from Atlanta where we've had these like teen takeovers and a lot of drama lately, and then going to this place where it was just so. I was like,
You're just like, these people don't worry about the things we worry about.
No, like I was like, these kids have never been scared of anything.
Yeah.
Like these kids probably will never be scared of anything. Like these women have never been scared for their kids for anything. It was just such like a weird thing to experience. And I don't really know how else to explain it, but even Bob was like, this place is weird.
He did. Yeah, Bob called it out.
Yeah,
he was like, this is a weird place. He's like, I think y'all are really nice, but...
He's like, y'all live in some weird bubble that you don't know the rest of the world exists.
Exactly. He even said that. And we're sitting there thinking like the same exact thing.
Yeah. He was like, I've never experienced anything like this before. Like, y'all really... I don't think people like leave their little bubble of Healdsburg.
No, I don't think so either.
And it was like a lot of like younger... You definitely could... It's like old money, younger people that, kind of trust fund situation, just like popping out kids like if that's their job.
Yeah.
And just enjoying life,
Well, because you can see them. You can see the parents are there.
Yeah. It's like everyone there was like so many generations. It was like the rich parents with their kids that are probably in their 20s. They're millennials kids, then their 20s, then their babies. Like it was just a lot of generational.
It's a lot of process.
It really was. I feel like we're not even explaining it. I feel like no one's gonna.
Well, I think it's just more of those like you sit there and like, why these people live such a different life, but we're in the same country.
I know.
Like,
it's
that's
so
what it
crazy.
is. If we were in a different country, I would get it. But it's like being in the same country, it just reminds you of how big America is.
It reminds me of like Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Like that same feeling. Like if you go to Copenhagen and it's very nuclear. Like everyone has a kid. Everyone's like every woman is like pushing their child in a stroller. It feels very, I don't want to say Handmaid's Tale because I don't want to hate on Copenhagen like that. And I think they're very happy there. So I don't want to like put that, but it feels so traditional. And that's how this felt. It was like so traditional, but not in like a traditional, like Southern way that people think of tradition.
Yeah.
It just was interesting. I don't know. It was so interesting.
Northern California.
Yeah. I liked it though. I was like, this feels very peaceful and happy. I was like, I'm like dreading the chaos a little bit. Going
our
back.
normal, like, could we live here conversation.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast.
Yes.
So big week. We're heading back to Atlanta today. And then we have a massive week with Thursday. The guys, Michael and Cole, will be doing the Sea Otter Lifetime Grand Prix gravel race.
Yep.
They will then be taking a red eye.
I don't understand how they're going to do
straight
this.
from the gravel race. Red eye overnight, landing in Atlanta Friday morning. Friday, we've got to do some content shooting, some photography work.
They've got to sleep a lot.
Saturday, we will be dropping the new kit design,
which I'm
for Twilight.
very excited about.
We have already posted a teaser.
Go watch it.
Go watch it on the Instagrams.
SpeedStudio Global.
We're going to talk about this design and how you really designed it next week after everyone sees it. So
we'll do a little like deep dive into how the process works because it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
and it's a very collaborative, like between me, you, and Michael. Like, I don't know, the three of us bring something very different to like the idea pool a lot of time when we're trying to design things, and so I think that's why the kits come out so good because the three of us are just really good at collaborating with each other and bringing up ideas.
Yeah, and our friends at Bosso involved too. They're very excited about it.
Yeah.
And so then that will drop Saturday, and then Saturday night, biggest criterium race in America.
Athens Twilight.
One of the
funnest days of the year.
Where I think Michael and Cole will definitely be one of the favorites. I actually already know they're one of the favorites because some folks have written about it. And we will be doing activation with our friends at Wahoo on turn 4.
Yeah, so if you don't have anything going on Saturday night, drive on over to Athens. It's really not far.
If you've ever wanted to go,
you should.
And
you've
always thought about it.
Yeah,
this is the time to go.
Exactly, because you never know like how many years you're gonna, we'll keep doing this.
We may never know. We may never do it again. Who knows?
Exactly. So it's gonna be a fun time.
We'll be at turn 4 with our friends at Wahoo doing some stuff there.
Come hang out under our tent.
Come hang out, and it's going to be a big week for SpeedStudio presented by Bosso.
I'm excited. I'm like so motivated. Like after this 50k, even though I can't walk, I'm so motivated for like the season ahead. Not just like for myself, but really motivated for like all of us and the team. And I just think, it's going to be a really, really great year.
And for those who are wondering, like Redlands, guys raced really hard and strong at Redlands. Got a lot of good training in. Where Michael was definitely the animator of everything I read about was him blowing up the race, which I knew he would.
Yeah, that's how he is.
Yeah.
And Cole did. I mean, Cole was riding really
super
strong as well.
So they're coming around. I'm excited about Sea Otter too.
Yeah, very excited.
So that's what we got going on.
And I think that's probably enough for...
Wout Van Aert won Paris-Roubaix.
Yeah.
We only saw the very finish because we're on the West Coast.
I think we need to go back and rewatch it.
I definitely want to watch it. For him to beat Pogacar, we said, like, someone's got it, like, he's got to be a Kingslayer out there because otherwise it's just going to be boring.
Exactly. And then one of Michael's friend won the women's
race.
Roubaix.
Yep.
So maybe we're going to try and get her on the pod. We don't personally know her, so Michael's going to see if maybe she can squeeze some podcast time in between her race season.
Exactly. So we've got some guests coming up. We just needed to get through all this travel before that.
And if you have any recommendations of some fun trail races that I've so many people reached out to me and were like, let me know when you sign up for another trail race because I want to do it too. So
what is the next one?
I don't know. So there's not really a lot in Georgia happening. There's just not any over the summer, unfortunately, or there's barely any over the summer. Kind of like trail season starts in the fall for the Southeast. So I think I'm going to have to probably look out west. That's where most of it.
Prefer anyway.
Which I honestly prefer. I like the races. The racing out here is so much, I don't want to say better, but it's a lot less stressful.
Less rooty and rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less dangerous.
More organized.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because there was a couple staying here at the hotel with us and she did the 100K and he did the 50K. And she was like, oh, I didn't think the aid stations were that good because she's done like Western States 4 times. I mean, she definitely has done a lot of trail racing. And so,
Rhonda,
super nice couple. But they were like, oh, we weren't really that impressed with the aid stations. And I was like, oh, really? Because I thought it was like a palace at every aid station because the aid stations in Georgia are so terrible. And the course is so poorly. The course was marked so well. Like, I want to just shout out this like organization because I actually ran with the one of the girls who was part of the organizing group.
Is like Healdsburg Running Club?
Yeah, Healdsburg Running Co. or
company?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
it's basically the shoe store.
The course was probably the best marked course I've ever. It was crazy. Like they just put a lot of effort in. So shout out to them because that's
what it takes.
It was flawless. I thought. But it's all perspective. But I think that's all we have for today.
All right.
So I'll try and find some more races and let y'all know what the plan is for the year.